As far as I can see, there is one thing that is universal for any political campaign that wants to win by whatever means, and that is that everyone involved either lies, overly embellishes, or just tells half-truths in order to win.
Things will get worse before they get better.
Trump tends to go on these little mini rants, some of which are hilarious, by the way.
And this way, what I like about it, wait a minute, let me see how these things go. You know what? I like it better without the teleprompter.
But Harris does things in a far more sinister fashion, at least to me anyway. She represents the literal Manchurian candidate, the one who is a drone, an empty vessel for the propaganda and agenda of all who fund her campaign.
So what's on your mind?
Oh, Madam VP Harris, I'm worried about the election. Women's reproductive rights are on the line. Our Supreme Court is on the line. Our basic freedoms are being tested, Madam VP.
Yeah, girl, I'm out here in these streets. And let me tell you, you're right, Taraji. There is so much at stake in this moment. The majority of us believe in freedom and equality. But these extremists, as they say, they're not like us.
At Globo Gym, we're better than you, and we know it.
And what better way to illustrate her lies than when she gets caught out in one? Is Kamala making up lies about her biography too? The two being in reference to her running mate who basically lied about his service record, but I'm not here to talk about him. He means nothing in the long run. Harris, on the other hand, quote, as part of the effort to reinvent herself, Kamala decided upon becoming the presumptive Democratic Party presidential nominee to make working at McDonald's while in college a key part of her story.
Now, what you've got here is a scrotum and nothing else.
So what are you saying? Is she not a former burger flipper?
Today's subject, the Hamburglar. The Hamburglar is very clever and very sneaky.
The campaign is clearly still workshopping the details with focus groups because the narrative behind the story has been tweaked. Originally, her stint at McDonald's was presented as her paying her way through college, but aides, likely realizing that Harris didn't actually come from humble origins, changed the script and said she merely took the job for extra spending money rather than to pay for college. This change came shortly after the Washington Free Beacon questioned the campaign about her McDonald's claims. Okay, so let me paint you a scenario of how this whole silly, stupid issue has come around, making it a bigger issue. Some normal voter out there on the campaign trail would have asked the question about money and being poor. So she, just off the top of her head, like a stupid bimbo that she is,
That's rude.
dropped McDonald's name, saying, yeah, I work there, thinking this is a harmless thing and nothing will come of it. Not realizing, of course, that this is a presidential campaign and every detail is scrutinized and, well, this is America. You can't be openly dishonest in politics without feeling the wrath of the morality police. Please don't think this is some sort of Kamala defense. I'm just saying it as it is. Even Snopes, renowned for its biased fact-checking, can't even verify this claim. But the real problem here, of course, is what the lie represents. If she is willing to lie about stupid little things, then she will more likely than not lie about the bigger things. A good example of this is the whole border czar issue. For many years, she was known as the border czar, but when it became inconvenient, she suddenly wasn't, despite the levels of left-wing publications that said otherwise.
Stupid! It's stupid!
She also has this tendency to, switch up her accents, depending on the place she visits, to make people feel like she's one of them, I guess.
Everywhere I go, I tell people, you may not be a union member, but you better thank unions for that 5-day work week. Everywhere I go, I tell people, look, you may not be a union member, you better thank a union member for the 5-day work week. Thank unions for sick leave. You better thank a union member for sick leave. Thank unions for paid family leave. You better thank a union member for paid leave. Thank unions for your vacation time. You better thank a union member for vacation time. So we're 64 days out from this election. Let's just get through the next 64 days.
It was a poor attempt at humor.
Jill Biden once said, decency is on the ballot. Well, how about honesty, integrity, consistency, all things that Kamala lacks, or Kamala, whatever name is.
Who cares?
What this is another case of dishonesty breeding misery and misery breeding anger. Like the difference between not only Kamala and Trump themselves, but their supporters as well.
You love Trump?
What?
You love Trump?
Yeah, why? Stay away from me. Stay away from me.
Yeah.
Fucking weirdo.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Get the fuck. Get away from me. I'm gonna beat you with this battery. Get away. Ah! Stop attacking me.
Yeah.
You weirdo. Stop attacking me.
Yeah.
Weirdo.
It's funny, I don't see many videos of Trump supporters attacking people randomly in the streets for having a different view on political matters. No, I do not. It's always coming from one side, the so-called tolerant ones. The only thing they really tolerate, I suppose, is themselves, but then again, that's a stretch. I also never see Trump officials be indicted on various charges that indicate treason.
Son is being charged with visa fraud, alien smuggling, and money laundering conspiracy. Federal prosecutors allege that Son blocked Taiwanese government officials from accessing New York State officials and obtained gubernatorial proclamations for the Chinese government without authorization. Son's husband and co-defendant, Chris Hu, is also charged with money laundering conspiracy, as well as conspiracy to commit bank fraud and misuse of means of identification. In return for Son's services, prosecutors allege that the Chinese government gave them travel benefits, tickets to events, promotions of close family friends, and even ducks prepared by a People's Republic of China's government official's personal chef that were delivered to the residence of Son's parents.
China is asshole!
I'll tell you something deeply ironic and funny, well, to me anyway. I used to be like many young people, left of center. Typically, you start out this way because you are told fantasy lies about things and the education system does a good job of brainwashing you into thinking certain ways. It's only when you are encouraged to think for yourself by one, maybe two select mentors, do you see through the web of lies that is created about the tolerant, nice left. And once you do see through those web of lies, you finally see the oppression, subjugation, and majority of lies and deceit that has come from literally one side. Now, don't get me wrong, just going by the experience in the UK, the Tory party have had their fair share of scandals, but most of them have been sex-related.
Situation was that funnily enough, it was tractors that I was looking at, and so I did get into another website that had a sort of very similar name. And I watched it for a bit, which I shouldn't have done. But my biggest crime, is that on another occasion I went in a second time.
And that was deliberately?
And that was deliberate.
Okay.
Now that's not good either, but it's better than the alternative. There's a big heap of difference between untamed lust next to full-blown communistic ideals. Call me crazy. This US election is so important. It will decide whether the West falls or if the West rises. So I do hope my American friends choose wisely. The rest of us are counting on you. Thank you all for watching. Until next time, do take care and God bless.